One of the things that I have said over and over again is sometimes we're looking for that theme or that sort of background to what we're reading, because that's the way the ancients wrote. Like a watermark, when you hold paper up to the light and you see the watermark, there's usually something embedded in the themes that we read, and picking up on that just make them richer. It doesn't add to Scripture. It doesn't, if you miss it, doesn't mean that you didn't get the gist of what's going on, but it really adds to our understanding of Scripture. So take, for instance, the epistle that Paul wrote to the Galatian church. Great epistle. People love it. I mean, Galatians and Romans, I mean, those are like, when you talk about salvation, justification by faith, we all go to those epistles as like they're stalwart in their understanding as Christians, especially those of us who believe in justification by faith. Well, when you take the epistle to the Galatians, there is a background story to that epistle. And understanding that background is not going to help you understand justification by faith any better. It's not going to help you understand Paul and Peter's argument in chapter 2 any better. But what it will do is it will help you to understand what Paul is saying ultimately about our justification and about our deliverance. The theme that is in Galatians that underpins the entire epistle is the theme of the Exodus. When you go back to the Old Testament, the Exodus is the theme that runs all the way through the Old Testament. It's this huge theme, but we're left in the Old Testament with the Exodus ultimately didn't really work. I mean, they got to the promised land, but not like the way they thought. And the children of Israel and the Jewish people were looking for that second Exodus. They were looking for that new deliverance. Well, Paul sees that deliverance happening in Jesus, and he develops the Exodus theme in Galatians. He starts off by telling us in chapter 1, verse 4, that we've been delivered from this present evil age. Well, that's important. That this idea of being delivered from something is that Exodus flavor. He then tells us very quickly in chapter 1 that he's surprised that they are so quickly departing from the faith. Well, that's taken all the way out of the Old Testament when the children of Israel quickly departed when Moses was up on the mountain and they started worshiping the golden calf. These are the imageries that are going on in this epistle. You get to the slaves and the sons, right, in chapter 4. That's a Exodus imagery. And then in chapter 6, verse 16, we're told that the Galatian church is actually the Israel of God. And so when you see these themes developed throughout the epistle, you realize that there's more here going on. Paul is drawing upon some really neat literary themes to teach us something about our faith and ultimately our deliverance.